not accounting like this. But if you don't do that, then later on, when there are more people and you have more to do, suddenly you have to resplit you have to ask people to do an invoice differently. It's difficult. I mean, you can decide, at least consider it early on, and then you may decide to say, well, I don't want to do that now, and I know I want to make that effort in 2 years from now, and I'll do 2 years from now, but you get ready for that. You're not surprised 2 years later that it's a significant change management process that you have to deal with.
So start early, build scalable, plan for it, and build the best team possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
The team is essential, because at the end, you're operating in a venue. You want in each venue. I mean, again, it depends on the culture and all that. But what's for sure, whatever the culture, some are more centralized than others. But you cannot run the games from a central point and tell every team in all the venue to do this now and that, and it's not possible. So people have to understand that quite early. There's a central point for every function and all that to manage big crises and to help and all that. But you have also to create progressively teams which are going to be able to be autonomous. One of the big challenges as well is to say, if you don't consider that early enough and you don't build the right culture, you're going to build up a technology team, a sport team and all that, and then suddenly you're in the venue and you don't know the people. And suddenly you have to recreate not only a network of people, but some trust with people you don't know because you were in your silo and you said, oh, this is not me, this is the other side, but no, you have to work differently at the time of the games. And you cannot wait for central point to tell you everything you have to do. That's just too much to do. So you have to also get people to be aware of that so that they don't try to centralize what shouldn't be centralized because you just can't. When you can't give orders from a central point on everything that has to be done. So you have to create a capacity for people to be autonomous, and you have to create a capacity for people to work with the different teams and all that, because at the end of the day, yes, of course, you're first doing what you're responsible for, but you have also to be ready to help on other things. And that's the culture of events. So usually you have that with anybody who's been working on events. They may even be a bit sad on the games because the games are so big that the work is more sliced and diced than on a small job. If I take on some much smaller events, they were World Champion, but I was technology, but I was also the media guy. I know this. On the games, there's just so much to do that it's not possible. So sometimes with people with event experience, they are a bit frustrated because they say, well, usually I also take care of this, and well, yeah, but take care already of that. Thank you very much, and let's go with it. So it is always a surprise. The time is always a surprise, and that's why I'm always insisting on retro planning. And sometimes I even say, as you move, in fact, because the number of people is growing, it's as if time is going faster and faster. And at the same time, in terms of culture, including in France and all that, well, personally, I'm in favor to be as harsh as possible, to say, well, if we have a meeting, we are 7 years from the games, great. We have a meeting at 4, it's a meeting at 4, it's not 4:15, it's not. Because at the time of the game, because if you do that, it's going on, and then you have to understand that with tons of people, well, if the competition is starting at 8, it's starting at 8, it's live. If we don't start at 8, we may even have some broadcasters, they will not pay all their rights because we were not on time. So there's even a financial impact for the organizing company potentially. So 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock. If we say 8, it's 8, it's not 8 o'clock. And usually again, that's easier to build, especially if It depends on the culture. But I remember in Rio, you know, being on time is a different concept. Huh? But they went there, but we knew it was going to be difficult. So, without being too harsh, but I would try to have the first people in the organizing committee to understand that that's the target and that's difficult. Try to implement it right from the beginning. So at the beginning, if we say it's 8 o'clock and it's a meeting for 1 hour, it should start at 8. It should be 1 hour. With the growth, another huge difficulty. You know, you look at all the sport, all the venues and all that, and the team is growing and people evolve and all that. Every organizing committee is facing the difficulty to have more and more meetings, and time is being eaten up by meetings. And you have meetings because the organization is growing. You have meetings. You started that at 10, and 8 months later, there are 30 people in the meeting. No, it doesn't work. I mean, what do you do in a meeting with 40 people? I mean, you may have some, but it's a top-down type of meeting to say something. That's a communication. It's not a work meeting. But that's very difficult because people come on board. Some people, including with experience, may come later, and people don't want to ruffle things, and people are still. No, I mean, very quickly you find everywhere, and if you don't manage that very carefully, and embed that in the culture of the organizing committee, then you're going to go through crisis where suddenly you see people like, okay, what is that? Today we had, I saw on that floor there were 6 different meetings, each with 50 people for 3 hours. Doesn't make sense. It is very expensive. So yes, we have to communicate. Yes, more people have to know that, but you cannot tell me that you have taken decisions. So if it's communication, maybe it's going another way, have an intranet or whatever. If it's a decision, it's been prepared, all that. And so the more at the beginning you